Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing the series on what if Naruto was in the My Hero Academia universe. This is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, go check that out. But yeah, so let's begin with part 2. While walking down a dark alley, Deku is attacked by the sludge monster, like in the anime. Nothing different happens as Naruto isn't in these scenes. The only difference is when Deku introduces himself, All Might is more shocked and surprised than not caring like in the anime. Bakugo gets attacked, Deku tries to save him, and then All Might, saves both of them, and we get that beautiful scene of All Might telling Deku that he's going to be his successor. During the beginning of the 10-month training period, Deku told Naruto that he would help him help academically tutor him, because, Naruto's not too good in that sense. Around the second month or so, Naruto realizes that Deku's physique was much more built. Naruto tries to confront him about this, but Deku's eyes just widen and he spits out lies. While Naruto might not be the best at math and stuff, his ninja skills are on par and can tell when someone's lying. Naruto makes a plan to follow him the next time he goes out. Naruto follows him to the beach, and as Deku is in the middle of moving trash, Naruto jumps out and screams "Gotcha!" As the three have a sort of Mexican standoff, Naruto yells at All Might saying, "What are you doing here?" All Might asks Naruto the same. Deku screams, "You two know each other?" Then, then Deku thinks back to the man Naruto was with sometimes as a child and yells, "All Might's your uncle?" All Might settles the two boys down and begins to explain in a simple manner. After this, Naruto asks why Deku has to train so hard, then looking at All Might and talks about how he just gave Naruto the hair. All Might replies by telling him that Deku's body is too weak and his power would destroy him if he ate it. Deku focused on Naruto and mutters to himself about why it didn't accept Naruto as the successor. After the awkward interaction, Naruto says that he will be joining him in the training, and for the next 8 months the two friends would work out together. It's now time for the entrance exam. The two friends are very excited, but Deku is still very nervous. We get to see that scene with Araka and Deku, but this time Naruto is smiling at Deku, giving him a burst of confidence. In terms of the actual test, the two friends are split up, so Deku still gets that heroic moment, and Naruto gets to do his thing. Deku finishes in 8th with the hero points, and Naruto slips into 2nd place, pushing Deku down, because in the original he was in 7th. The two both pass their tests and will begin to go to school at UA. The first day goes pretty similar to the one in canon, except with Naruto entering class with Deku. We still get that scene with Araka, Tenya, and Deku talking at the front of the door, but this time with Naruto laughing alongside them. The only major difference is when Naruto sees Mina Ashido. In this series, Ashido is one of the characters that Naruto is going to be chasing after. I feel that he would really be attracted to her since they both have fun personalities. Naruto would introduce himself and try to shoot his shot, just as Mr. Aizawa or Eraserhead would walk in. He would tell everyone to sit in their seats and explain the tests that they would be doing or competing in order to stay in the school, because the last person gets expelled. This time, however, I'm going to make it a bit more realistic, as it doesn't really make sense for Deku to come in last in every event. I would say that Deku would finish in the top 10, as while his quirk isn't consistent, he's still much more athletic than the other students, training with All Might and Naruto. The only reason I put Naruto lower than him was because Deku's ball throw just gives him more points than Naruto's pretty consistent levels. Bakugo would freak out on Deku, but instead of Mr. Aizawa taking him, Naruto, with his quicker reactions, would clock him and put him on the ground. Everyone would be dead silent and in shock. Bakugo, in his flaming hot personality, would obviously take offense to this and charge at Naruto. Mr. Aizawa would see this and tie him up. With that, the first day of school ends, and Deku becomes good friends with Araka and Tenya, and Naruto becomes good friends with Ashido. Before I go on any further, I should talk about how the class is structured. For this story, there are 21 students in the class. I want to keep all the students as I feel that they're all very important and they're all lovable. That's not to say that matchups and teammates aren't going to be different though. With Naruto present, there will be major shifts in who's teammates and who's not. Now, with further ado, let's continue. The next day or so, it's time for their training. This will be the first time that the students will be using their costumes, and everyone's pretty excited. Deku freaks out over Araka, and Naruto does the same for Ashido. All Might lines them up and tells them the instructions for the test. After proclaiming the instructions, All Might introduces the teams and their matchups. For good character development, I kept Deku and Araka facing off against Bakugo and Tenya. I just think that their battle is really important for the main story and, how it shows Bakugo and Deku's relationship growing. This also means that, there won't be any changes to their battle. Most matchups after that stay the same until it's Naruto's turn, and he'll be matched up with Koda as a hero against Sero and Kirishima. Naruto looks at All Might in a menacing way to show that he was mad at him for choosing a weak teammate, but also excited to show everyone his skills since, he couldn't really show them with Mr. Aizawa and the fitness training. The teams go to their starting places, and Naruto immediately rushes in using his Shadow Clone Jutsu to cover more space. In Naruto fashion, he speeds in and develops a plan on the way to his destination, leaving Koda behind. Before reaching the weapon, Naruto is met by Kirishima. The two men have an intense duel, but Naruto, using his speed and durability, tires out Kirishima with Shadow Clones. And just as Kirishima is about to run out of stamina, Naruto hits him with a powerful wind move, knocking out Kirishima. Naruto then notices that the entire room has been covered in tape. Naruto uses the Shadow Clone Jutsu again and rushes Sero, taping him up and ending the match. Everyone watches in awe on how quickly Naruto was able to end the match. Back in the waiting room, everyone congratulates Naruto and talks about how underestimated he was. Naruto smiles at this and appreciates the praise. However, Naruto is then scolded by All Might for not using or communicating with his teammate. At the end of the day, Deku and Bakugo still have their conversation on how Bakugo says he'll beat up Deku, Shoto, and now Naruto. And that's gonna cover part 2. I wanted to keep it short because the next part is gonna be really long. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you want a part 3. Comment it down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.